Now, Football Friday Night Extra. Sponsored by Johnny's Pizza House, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, and LA Auto Sales.
Hello and welcome inside the Fox 14 studios here in West Monroe. You're watching Football Friday Night Extra. Stephen Pappas, Dominique Williams, Jesse Davis, Jeremy Bryant. It's the end of the regular season. Can we believe it already? I mean, it was cold tonight. Like,
yeah, no, I'm happy.
It's crazy. I mean, it felt like yesterday we were just starting in the Bayou Jam and all that stuff, and here we are at the end of the regular season.
Got district champ titles given out. It's the end.
We got district champ titles today, district champ titles yesterday. We'll get to all of that, but a district champ title given out today in West Monroe. Jesse, it's the game of the week.
Yes, that's right. Last week of the regular season for high school football here in Northeast Louisiana. Teams fighting for respect, higher playoff rankings, and district champ. That's exactly what you're going to get in this matchup here. Ruston and West Monroe, both of them 4-0. First drive of the game is going to find his tight end down the sideline before finally being pushed out of bounds. 2 plays later, the two will connect again, this time for a touchdown. Ruston leads 7-0 early. West Monroe looking to respond. Hayden Federico hands it off to McNeil, who takes it up the middle. Brace a tackle. He's into the end zone for a Rebels touchdown. We are tied at 7. Bearcats with the ball again. Bradley hands it off to Jordan Hayes. Talk about a burst up the middle and through a defense. Nothing but speed all the way to the house. Ruston, they now lead 14-7. Later in the drive, in the red zone for West Monroe, Hayden Federico with the play action. He finds McNeil again, who crosses over into the end zone, scored 14-14. That would be the score going into the half. West Monroe with the ball. And in third, Hayden Federico with the play action rolls out, finds Jay Cash, who makes a great catch to put the Rebels into the red zone. A few plays later, Hayden Federico to David Moore. Moore with the reverse sweep to Grant Edmondson, who goes all around to the edge and gets into the end zone. Yes, he is that guy. Next, West Monroe possession. Now you want to talk about that guy, Hayden Federico, because he's breaking tackles and ankles and hearts with this run all the way to the end zone down the sideline. West Monroe, they lead 28-21. Bearcats say, hold on now, Ruston. Later in the drive, Josh steps into the pocket. He finds Logan Malone, who makes the toe touch catch. You're going to need more than just some water jugs to stop this guy, because guess who it is? He's going to jug his way. Jordan Hayes takes the handoff, breaks through the tackles all the way into the end zone. Say goodbye, because you're not going to catch him back down by 20. Ruston takes the lead now, 35-28 with 3 minutes remaining. Ball is snapped over Hayden Federico's head, and that would just about do it. Ruston, they win 35-28. They're the 2-5-8 district champs.
All right, West Ouachita looking to improve to 7-3 on the season. Alexandria looking to shake off a 2-game losing streak. Now, after a Chiefs turnover on the first drive of the game, a fumble, the Trojans on third down, Ty Feaster going to load up down the field. He's going to connect with his receiver over the Chiefs defense and into the end zone. 7-0. Trojans on top. The Chiefs would have an answer. Now, after a long drive gets him inside the 1-yard line, quarterback Devin Ellis going to call his own number. It would take some time to figure out who's at the bottom of the pile, but eventually the ref puts his hands up, a touchdown, and we are tied at 7. After that, it was the J.T. Lindsay show. The junior taking over the game as he's going to shake off not 1, not 2. He's going to hit the B button for a spin move. 3, run over a man and drag down inside the 5-yard line. That would set up Lindsay again. He's going to take the handoff and scamper in for the score. 14-7, Trojans on top. Now, after a heavy dose of Lindsay on the next drive, it's going to be Feaster. Ty Feaster going to fake out everybody, including the camera, into the end zone on the read option, getting the number called, putting Alexandria up 21-7. Trojans, they weren't done just yet. Feaster on the next drive, fake the handoff, roll out to the right. He's going to find his tight end, Tanner Townsend, who's going to fight his way into the end zone, and it is all Trojans. Now, after a fumble on the ensuing kickoff, Alexandria with the ball again right before the half. Feaster finding Townsend again for the second time in as many drives. Alexandria goes up 35-7 into the half. They win big 49-7 to wrap up the regular season.
All right, the Carroll Bulldogs taking on Union. A little different scene from last year's fight for the district title. But Union gets rolling early with the quarterback keeper by Jordan Hill with a big gain on the outside before being pushed out of bounds to set the Farmers up in the red zone. Next play, they hand it off to the playmaker, Tamorio Bilberry. He splits the defense and draws right into the end zone for the game's first touchdown. The first, not the last. Defense forces the thread out, and they continue to wreak havoc. Forces the block punt. Bounces right into the hands of Trayvon Ward on his way to pay dirt for a special team score. The punter had a rough day, saw the wrong defense on the wrong night. Another box punt drops the snap, and Taquarius Wilson picks it up, and maybe he did his easiest touchdown of his career, trots into the end zone for another special team score to go 21-0. Jamar Highland now, he's scored in all 9 games. Let's make it 10 now. Shrugging off the defenders and even spiking up with a jump cut to the outside. Finds his way to the end zone for a score right before the half. Second half looked a lot like the first half. Union rolled over the Dogs 40-6.
Well, I didn't look like Trey Holly there, Jesse. All right, Ouachita Lions host the Pineville Rebels in the district class. Senior running back Keelan Bell opens the scoring drive with a 5-yard rushing touchdown for Ouachita. Extra point will be no good, but here he is again, Keelan Bell, with this massive 53-yard touchdown run all the way. The Lions doing the business here. They go up 14-0 here. Then Pineville back to punt, but the Lions, who actually blocked this punt on this upcoming highlight coming up, then guess who is there? Keelan Bell, who will run up the middle, loses the cameraman, and Pineville's defense, of course, scores his 3rd rushing touchdown on the night. Keelan not skipping on math class. There's 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's right. Extra point will be no good. Now, watch this next play. Pineville, who was on 4th down. QB under massive pressure. He gets it away, and what a catch. Falling to the ground for the 1st down. The drive is alive. Nice pass in the corner for the end zone. Pineville get on the scoreboard here then, but that will be all they had because Ouachita will go on to win big 49-7.
All right, a battle of the Rams tonight in the 3A non-select division. We'll take you to Richwood right after the break.
Friday Night Extra, sponsored by Johnny's Pizza House, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, and LA Auto Sales.
All right, welcome back inside the Fox 14 studios. Football Friday Night Extra. More action to get you to is the Battle of the Rams in 3A non-select. Richwood hosting Bastrop.
That's right, and it was my first time over at Richwood. Good to see them there. And then Class 3A between the Battle of Richwood and Bastrop, vying for a playoff seed. First quarter, Richwood was up 16-0. Richwood QB number 3 throws deep to receiver downfield, but number 4 and number 21 with the pass breakup. Bastrop ball here. Then QB Jamarian Hawkins throws up the middle, and guess what? It's intercepted by numero 5 there. Richwood takes it back for the 30 and will get back, drop down inside just short of the 10-yard line. Richwood QB trying to connect, but is met with a host of Rams to force him to throw the ball away out of bounds. And then later on, Bastrop possession, Bastrop with the ball. Jamarian Hawkins launches a rocket into stadium lights. Christian Windsor, number 11, with the unbelievable catch for the big 1st down. Get them chains moving. Bastrop unable to score on the next possession before going into the halftime. Then later in the second half, Bastrop back with the ball. New QB was in Hawkins and looks like he couldn't find anyone, and a host of Rams for Richwood for the sack and the safety. Richwood putting 2 more on the boards, and they will close out the regular season with an 18-0 win over Bastrop.
All right, up to South Arkansas. Jacksonville traveling to El Dorado. Wildcats, Jeremy Samuel starting the game, trying to move the ball. He is unable to. The Wildcats end up punting the ball and turning it over to the Titans. No return on that punt. Kentrell Thompson keeping the ball for himself. He's going to get the 1st down. You'll hear more from Thompson a little bit later on in these highlights. Instead, this time you're going to see the wrong end of a highlight as he is intercepted by a Javian Gilmore, and he's brought down. Wildcats going for a deep pass down the field. It's Japrince Robertson for the touchdown. Wildcats in front early. Titans ball now. A swing pass out to Marion Ball. He'll get about 5 yards before being dragged down. Then quarterback Kentrell Thompson going to see an opening, and he is gone. All the way in 90-yard touchdown run from the quarterback. One man to beat. He does get into the end zone. However, the Wildcats win this one 46-27. All right, when we return to district championship claimed on Thursday night, find out who is walking home with some hardware next.
Football Friday Night Extra, sponsored by Johnny's Pizza House, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, and LA Auto Sales.
Back inside the Fox 14 studios, Football Friday Night Extra. Let's rewind a bit to Thursday. Some big games going on. Crowned a district champion last night as well. Wasman taking on Sterlington.
Yes, that's right. 3A district championship between the Sterlington Panthers and the Wasman Wildcats. First drive for the Wildcats, Eric Griffin gets the handoff. He's going to bounce to the outside, gets big yards before finally being brought down. Wasman would turn the ball over on downs. Panthers with the ball now. Downs has with the toss to Jamel Coven, who has nothing but speed and green gas. Oh my gosh, I said gas. Ahead of him, he runs everyone into the end zone for the first score of the game. Sterlington leads 7-0 early. Panthers with the ball again. They are driving again. Downs gives it to the big fella, Colin Copeland, who bursts up the middle, bounces off a tackle and dives into the end zone. Another touchdown for Sterlington. They lead 14-0 now. Still in the first, Wasman on offense need to get something going. Tristan Wooden's pass is going to be picked off by the freshman Downs, and he's going to take this all the way the other way down the sideline into the end zone. Panthers lead 21-0 now. Wasman with the ball again. Tristan Wooden looking for a receiver downfield. McCarthy's looking for a sack. For the Panthers, Sterlington, they go on to win 38-15 over Wasman. They are your 2023 2-3A district champs.
All right, this one was already wrapped up. OCS on senior night getting hyped up for the finale against Lincoln Prep. Second play of the game, you know who's going to. Unreliable Tate Hamby on the slant. Shakes off two defenders, decides just to bully the third one on the way to the end zone for the touchdown to get on the board fast. Lincoln Prep back to fast now, being pressured into a desperate throw, bounces off of a helmet and lands into the hands of Cole Hopkins to get the ball back. And afterwards, welcome back Zach White to the lineup as he powers across the goal line for 6. 3 and out by OCS, but they faked the punt, waited for someone to get open, launched it downfield, but to the wrong jersey. Jamarius Buggs tips it to himself for the turnover. Panthers with momentum now, and they give it to Scenario Wilson. He flies down the field, shrugging off tackles, turns the corner, looking like he will score, but eventually got pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Now, the rollout, and they give it to Wilson again, and he's going to make a play again. Scores the goal line touch to get the Lincoln Prep Panthers on the board. Eagles looking to answer. Zach White continues to make up for lost time, scoring another touchdown. He's back like he's never left. And the district champ Eagles soar on senior night, 51-14.
All right, Cedar Creek hosting St. Fred's on Thursday night as well. We bring you that action next.
Friday Night Extra, sponsored by Johnny's Pizza House, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, and LA Auto Sales.
All right, well, we are continuing the theme of Thursday night action. A lot of games going on Thursday, as well as a lot of games going on Friday. Let's take you out to Oak Grove as the Vidalia Vikings visiting the Oak Grove Tigers. Oak Grove going to get us started on the opening drive here in the red zone. Jackson Bradley, one of the best quarterbacks in the state, going to sling it to Brody Stewart, who's going to score a touchdown. They would miss the extra point. Vidalia now driving. It's Almari Lewis in the shotgun, going to fire it to his wide receiver. That's Lewis Jordan, who puts on the afterburners, and he will not be caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Vidalia going to go for 2. Lewis, the quarterback sneak, and the 2 points. A little shimmy will get you in. Vidalia leading 8-6. Oak Grove now with the ball. Say not so fast here in the shotgun. Going to fake the reverse. Going to give it to Jay Freeman into the end zone. Beast of the week. Another touchdown on the board for Freeman. 13-8 Oak Grove now, and they're not stopping there. Bradley in the screen pass to Jay Freeman now as a receiver. And he sets himself free. A nice spin move down into the red zone. Bradley now going to take the snap, and he wants a touchdown. He'll get it into the end zone. Just exactly how they drew it up on the quarterback draw. 20-8, Oak Grove running away with it. Back with the ball again, Oak Grove on their own 32. Bradley, the slant, and a rocket to Brody Stewart, who's going to take it home all the way to the end zone. a 68-yard touchdown for the juniors, getting the boys on the board. Oak Grove winning this one big, 56-14.
All right, let's take things up to Ruston. Cedar Creek Cougars hosting Thursday Night Football with the visiting Warriors of St. Fred. Early in the contest, St. Fred jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Under 3 minutes to go in the first. Warriors ball. Montrell Connor hands off to MJ Day, but he gets met with a host of Cougars, keeping him away from the end zone. St. Fred will get called for a penalty, so the ball will move back a few yards. Then the Warriors capper Joner nails the field goal kick. St. Fred's up 10-0 now. St. Fred kicking off to Cedar Creek, and it's a mix-up between James Meyer and Noah Durrett, causing the ball to slip out. Caden Miller sliding in for the recovery, like sliding in somebody's DM. St. Fred regains possessions. St. Fred back in the red zone. Connor hands off to Dave, who comes around the corner and slides up into the end zone, going bulldoze over the Cougars. Blake Wade there for the touchdown, and that's another 6 points on St. Fred's boards. The extra point will be no good. Warriors up 16-0. Mind you, it's still the first quarter. Later on, under a minute in the first, Cedar Creek on third down. QB Ladd Thompson handing off to Lilo and slides in for the touchdown. Cedar Creek would go for 2, but the Warriors defense stopping the Cougars just short of the end zone. St. Fred would head into the locker room leading 16-6 at the half, and then after 2 touchdowns later from MG Day, Warriors St. Fred will win big, 30-14.
All right, more scores from our area. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Friday Night Extra, sponsored by Johnny's Pizza House, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, and LA Auto Sales.
All right, the final show of the regular season playoffs starting next week. A lot of teams making the playoffs. Before we leave you tonight, let's get everybody's prediction, or at least try and get everybody's prediction of who they think. At least give me one team that's winning a state championship this year. Start with Jeremy.
I think OCS has been very dominant, very gone through the regular season, kind of unmatched a little bit. So I think they're going to go pretty far and win the state championship again this year.
All right, Dominique.
You already know I'm rolling with the Bearcats. Ruston, first time going undefeated since 1990, so I'm rolling with them.
Jesse?
Really not going to go with a team. I'm just going to say we're going to have at least 5 teams represent Northeast Louisiana this year in the season Superdome.
That's a bold claim. I'll go with the Sterlington Panthers. A great win yesterday over a very good Wazoo Wildcats team. A bit of a dark horse all year. We haven't really talked about them. Lost in week 1, 9 straight wins after that. So we'll see going into the playoffs starting next week. We will have shows next week and the week after. Football Friday Night Extra getting you through the playoffs. But for now, that is a wrap for us here at the Fox 14 studios. This week 10, final regular season edition of Football Friday Night Extra. If you're looking for more action of our high school teams, head over to our website. That's myarklamiss.com for a full list of scores and highlights. Jesse Davis, Dominique Williams, Jeremy Bryant, everybody in our production room, everybody shooting video for us. Thank you very much. I'm Stephen Pappas. Have a great night.